What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Friday. It is November 3rd, and we are back bringing you, hopefully, an informative video. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Hopefully, you'll learn something new if you have not been here. But anytime any of our videos gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you are a subscriber to our YouTube page, someone will win a free week of DFS content. Anytime a video gets 100 likes, someone will win a free month. 125 likes, someone will win a free year. And if any of our videos ever get 150 likes or more, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, so the YouTube comment picker can pick you up. You have a chance to win a lifetime pass. Normally $4.99. All you gotta do is like the video. It's super simple, super easy. We're here to help you be a better DFS player. So, smash that like button if you learn anything at all. What we do is normally, if there's any slate that has at least 5 games, we go over each position. We give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. On top of that, if you need a little bit more help than that, we have a ton of information. We have NBA DFS minutes played, points allowed by position, Vegas odds. Those are all part of the free content. DFS content that includes part of FTA Plus, our projections, our chalk plays, our cheat sheet, which includes optimal lineups as well. Those lineups, I do say, don't copy paste. Use those to build off of those. Don't just copy paste. That's not what we do. So we have value picks there. We have leverage plays. We have our boomstick shots as well. So a ton of information. If you have questions, get them down below. If you want to email me with questions, dfshelp1@gmail.com. We will help you get set up on the site if you need any help at all. So that being said, we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to go through the picks. Then we're going to build a lineup on Fanduel. A lot of people have asked for Fanduel, and we've given love to DraftKings, so I wanted to try Fanduel today. I don't really play on it, but I will build a lineup for you. Now, this isn't a lineup that I necessarily will use 100%, but just the way we build the lineup. So we started the $10 to $1,000 betting journey. I saw, was it yesterday's video or the day before, someone was like, I'd really like to see that journey. So we start with $10. We put in a bet, whether or not that's football, basketball, baseball, whatever sport. We will bet that. So we started last night. It went very, very well with NFL. So we will show you how that went. So that being said, we do have 7 games on the slate. For whatever reason, the Nuggets and the Mavericks game does not have any, or it didn't open up with an over-under. It is now at 227.5. So we'll go through everything. So looking at this, we've got 228.5 over-under in the Thunder Warriors game. Warriors are 5.5 point favorite. We've got a 228 over-under in the Bucks-Knicks game. The Bucks are 6.5 point favorite. Nuggets at Mavericks. Nuggets are 7.5 point favorite. It's a 227.5 over-under. Heat at the Wizards, 226 over-under. Heat are a 9.5 point favorite, so this is definitely a blowout potential game. So this is one where I would pay attention. If you pick Heat players, you got to get the correct players that are going to score, because if it is a blowout, they might sit them, and we did get screwed over by the Boston blowout 2 or 3 nights ago, so definitely pay attention there. We've got Pacers at the Cavs, 222.5 over-under, with the Cavs being a 4.5 point favorite. We've got the Bulls at the Nets, 220.5 over-under. The Bulls are a 4.5 point favorite. And the Trailblazers at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are a 1.5 point favorite. It's got a low 218.5 over-under in that game. So you can kind of just see the line, where the lines have opened and where they're current. This will be updated about a couple hours before tip-off as well. So that being said, we can check that out. We have the points allowed by position. We go through here. You see the Spurs give up the most to point guard. You see that, and we'll go through this as well. So let's jump into the article, which, give it some love. Click the link down below in the description and let me see that you're looking at it. So that definitely helps me out. I can see the views that you guys like these articles as well. So that being said, let's jump into it. So looking at point guard, you got Luka Doncic at 61 fantasy points. Now, these are projections. They're basically like floors. So we're not going to project a 70-plus game out of Doncic every single game, But, I mean, that is what he's been doing, at least on DraftKings on here. Except his last game, he got 44.4, played 40 minutes, had a down game. And I actually said, if you watch that breakdown, I didn't want to pay $12,000 on DraftKings. It was like $12,600. He's very expensive. And he didn't hit value. The problem is, in cash, you need about 6.5 times value. In tournaments, you need 7.5 times value. So if we're looking at that at 12,500 on FanDuel, you got 7 times value. He needs to get 87.5 to hit you value for tournaments, and he has not done that yet. So that is, his price is very up there. I'm probably priced out on Doncic again today. Until he gets down to like 11,000, I might be priced out. We're looking at Steph Curry at 48 fantasy points, Damian Lillard at 41. Mid-tier, Malcolm Brogdon, 31. Emmanuel Quickley, 28. Tyus Jones, 27. And value picks, Kobe White, 24. Alex Caruso, 22. And Reggie Jackson at 20. Moving to the shooting guard position, Donovan Mitchell at 47 fantasy points. Desmond Bane, 41. Josh Giddey, 40. Mid-tier, Karis LeVert at 32. Klay Thompson, 32. And Max Strus at 29. And then your value picks here, shooting guard, Buddy Hield, 29, Tim Hardaway Jr., 27, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 23. Moving to the small forward, you got Jimmy Butler at 40, Michael Bridges at 37, DeMar DeRozan at 35. Mid-tier, Denny Avdija at 29, Michael Porter Jr., 28, and Lou Dort at 26. And then your value picks at small forward, Lonnie Walker the fourth at 23, Josh Hart at 22, and Zaire Williams at 22. We got our power forward positions, Giannis at 50. I know it's a lower projection. I love Giannis today. It's the reason he's the picture of the video and the article. He will be in my lineup. You got Jaren Jackson at 40 and Julius Randle at 39. Mid-tier, Chet Holmgren at 36, Aaron Gordon 29, Bobby Portis 29. And then your value picks at power forward, Andrew Wiggins 25, Dorian Finney-Smith 25, and Aaron Nesmith at 24. Moving to the center position, he was questionable. Now it looks like probable. Jokic at 56 fantasy points. If we look at him, he game question like should be. He's probable, yeah. So this is the NBA's in-season turn. I don't like follow the NBA like a ton. What is this tournament? Like I don't understand what they're doing. Anyway, Jokic. So the problem is Nikola Jokic at 56. His price is up there. He's got a back problem. It could flare up during the game. So this is something to monitor. Bam Adebayo at 39. Evan Mobley at 38. You can see there's a pretty big discrepancy between Nikola and then the second highest projected right now. Mid-tier, Nikola Vucevic at 36. Miles Turner, 33. DeAndre Ayton, 32. And then value, Xavier Tillman, 28, Kevin Looney, 28, and Nick Claxton, 27. Then we look at your value picks. Now, these are value right now. Obviously, value opens up if Jokic is out, if bigger names are out. Other value will open up. But as of now, the making of this video, 6 a.m., Mitchell Robinson, 5.41 times value. Bobby Portis, 5.28 times value, and Tim Hardaway Jr., 4.95 times value. So we will update these if there's any that do open up during the day. So our player projections are out about 2 hours before tip-off. That should help you out because that's when value opens up. So that being said, we are done with the projections here. If you want to see all of them today, FTA plus NBA, go to player projections. Also, Chalk has ownership percentages and players as well. So let's build a lineup. We'll look at this depending on what we've got going on. Where do we feel confident? Where do we feel comfortable? I think Giannis is where I'm going to go here. So today I'm going to pay up for Giannis. That's the big one I'm going to pay up for. And then you can kind of come here. You can look at like point guards. So let's look at point guards. You've got, depending on who you're looking at, you've got the Spurs, Washington, and Grizzlies all give up the top three. So we look at here, Spurs, Washington. Spurs aren't playing, Washington is playing, and Memphis is playing. So Portland and Miami. So we look at point guard. And this is not the only way to do it, but this is a way you can do it. So you could look at if you want to look at Portland, Scoot Henderson's out, so he's out. He's going to be out. So that could open up some value here. Anthony Simons is out. So, I mean, what we're looking at is not the best. You've got Malcolm Brogdon, should open up here. Game logs, 30s. That's something I would look at. So I'll look at Malcolm Brogdon. I'll put him in there. We look at the Nets, Pelicans, and Rockets. So Nets not playing. Pelicans, New Orleans not playing. Houston not playing. So it really just depends on when you open it up. But honestly, what I'm looking at is if I'm not paying up other places, I think I want to look at some Damian Lillard. We used him the other day. He's still relatively on the lower end. He's had a couple of bad games. That's the problem. He's playing 30-plus minutes, so he would be one that I'd look at. So we'll maybe take out Brogdon, put Damian Lillard. We can average 5,800, give or take. I'm going to go to the center position. So this is kind of where I'm at. Look at the Mavs, Trailblazers, and Pacers. Okay? So we look at the Mavs, Dallas. Where are they at? So that's Denver. So Dallas actually gives up the most amount, and that would be Jokic. But he is very expensive. His back is a problem. So that is my thought. Like, if he was 100% healthy, yeah, you're putting him in there because the Mavs are the worst team right now. Again, this is a week's worth of data. We're kind of waiting for about a month's worth of data, month worth of games for everyone to kind of feel confident about this. Actually, we need to go to Fanduel. I forgot we're on Fanduel today, but it's still Mavericks, Trailblazers, and Pacers. So Dallas, Portland, Indiana. Dallas is or Portland. So Memphis. So then you've got Jaren Jackson Jr., which makes sense. So we kind of look at that. He's got eligibility both power forward and center. Kind of a down game here, but we used him versus Dallas. 51.8 fantasy points in that one. And they were the worst. So he had in that game where he was facing the worst team against the centers, he did perfect. He had 50-plus fantasy points. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But one of them that jumped out, the kind of, depending if he's going to get the run, would be Brook Lopez. Now, game log-wise, hasn't been the best, but he is cheap at 5,200. He's playing. The problem is his last game was his worst game, and he only played 16 minutes. If he can play more minutes, I do like him there. I would trust him a little bit more there. So building throughout, if you just want to find a couple of picks here that we could look at. Other ones that jumped out to me, Jamal Murray is questionable with the game time decision, but he's probable now. Game logs, he's been hitting it. He's 7,400. I'm okay with him. Then we move to the shooting guard position. Another one that was a pick. Cheaper options, got a great matchup against a defense here. 28th out of 30th ranked defense. The minutes are kind of what we're looking at. But if we look at some other things, I don't mind him. Now, this doesn't mean this is exactly the lineup I'm going to play, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. So another shooting guard position. This one I kind of wanted, but I don't know if he's going to play. He's game time decision with an ankle. He is questionable, so he is not a guarantee. So let's just get off of him real quick. Go to small forward. Depending on what we're looking at, Wiggins here, game logs. His minutes are there. He's just not getting the fantasy points. But again, this is tournament. You need 25 out of him, which he's only gotten once. So I'm probably off of Wiggins too. These are ones that just jumped out. The initial. So we do simulations, and like I said in yesterday's video, we'll give the top 10 simulations so far. These are ones that initial after 1,000 simulations. So they haven't, we're still waiting to kind of feel confident, try to make sure that the simulations are on par for what we want to give out. So Gallinari at 4,000. He only needs to hit, he's 18 minutes. The minutes are kind of there. So 5 times value, 6 is 24, obviously. So we're looking at 24, which he has not hit yet. So this is a good core to build around. Not necessarily one that I'm going to do completely, but Julius Randle against Milwaukee, they should be playing from behind. He's getting the minutes. I'm going to put him in there. And that leaves us about 5,100 average through the rest of this. So if we kind of look and get a feel for what we feel like, and we're looking at about 5,100, give or take that price. Another one that jumped out to me in our projections that I put on the article would be Lou Dort. Now, the minutes are there. The production has not been there for the last 3 games. I like his matchup here. I'm looking at Lou Dort here. Middle of the tier matchup. So then we get to small forward. Looking at small forward, we need 5,300, give or take. Really depends on who's going to be playing. The Vincenzo, the minutes have been there a couple of times. He had played 30 minutes against Cleveland, 16 points. He had 16 points against Atlanta. The points are there. The projections, give or take. So this is a tournament lineup, obviously. But now we're at 6,300 for a small forward position, and we can pay up a little bit. So RJ Barrett, if he was not game time decision, I'd feel confident about that. Michael Porter, it depends on how this game goes. Obviously, if Jokic was out or left hurt, he would probably get a little bit more run too. The ball might be spread around a little bit more. Outside of that, that would make sense. Odia, we've talked about him. He's had some good games at 5,800. I think I'm going to go with him. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. Jamal Murray, Damian Lillard, Buddy Hield, Lou Dort, Vincenzo. Now, this could change a little bit. Like we could, let's see. We can go 4,800 here. Royce O'Neal, Josh Hart. Josh Hart was one that was projected. So we look at him, 4,700. The minutes are there for Josh Hart. So I'll put Josh Hart in there right now. Denny. We got Giannis, Julius Randle, and Brook Lopez as well. So this could change a little bit. I wanted to give a perspective on to FanDuel. As you can see, I don't play on FanDuel, so I don't have any balance there. So this is just a I don't like this says I earned 250 in September, but we're in November, so I don't know why that's this late, but I'll take it. So this is one that I'd look at if you are building throughout. So just a lineup that we look at. Questions, comments, concerns, let us know. The simulation so far, right now, let me see. So let's go through here. The simulation model apparently is down at the moment, so we will have to wait on that. That will be up later. That's part of the player projections. But I wanted to show you the betting. So this is, you can't see it, can you? So I removed everything off of the site or off of DraftKings except for $10 last night. So we start with a $10 bet. And this is the $10 to $1,000 series. So I will be posting this on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. And I'll be putting these in the videos as well. So it won't necessarily be every single night. It'll just be when I feel confident enough, obviously, to put it in. So we started with $10. We had 3 bets for Thursday Night Football, same game parlay. We had Deontay Johnson over 50 plus fantasy or 50 plus yards. And I think he had, let's see. He ended up with, I wish I would have put him at more yards. He had 90 yards. So you could put 90 plus yards and the odds would have been even better. So I put, and this was a safe bet, a comfortable bet. Deontay Johnson, 50 plus receiving yards. Derrick Henry, 60 plus rushing yards, and he ended up with 75 yards. So you could have did 70 yards. And then DeAndre Hopkins over 40 plus receiving yards. And DeAndre Hopkins had 60, so 60 plus would have worked. So turn $10 into 32. So looking at this, we will build throughout. I don't know if I'm going to do a $32.50 bet to whatever I build. So sometimes it'll be parlays, sometimes it'll be straight bet. It just depends on what we feel confident about. So follow the journey. You can follow along. We do have sports betting on the website as well. So that is part of it too. So that's what I've got in this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. If you have not already, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Sign up if you have not. We've already got out the, if you go here, we have our rankings for NFL Week 9 out. The initial rankings are out. I took out the Thursday Night Football, so all of those are out here. You go to NFL tab, and you can check this out. I'll be updating the volume report today and be posting that. We've got our rankings here. We've got Josh Allen as our number 1 QB right now for Week 9. We got Kamara as our number 1 running back. We've got Stephon Diggs as our number 1 wide receiver. Mark Andrews as the number 1 tight end, and the Cleveland Browns as the number 1 defense against the Arizona Cardinals. So what we do is we post these out on the website, usually Wednesdays or Thursdays. We update them Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, after all the week's practices are done, we can see who's been in or out or scheduled to possibly get to go, game time decisions going. This one will take out the Chiefs and the Dolphins game because that is at 9:30 Eastern because they're in Germany, which I think it's the last early game of the year. I hope. I don't know. So that is there. That'll be gone. And we'll have the rest of the rankings there. Be on the lookout today. We'll be doing a full slate breakdown, every single game on the main slate. We'll get that broken down as well. That video will be out here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe if you have not already. So that's what I've got in this video, guys. Good luck on this slate, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.